Okay, hello, my friends. My name is Darren Gerdes, and this is the Daily Brief. So, 1,270 Russians off the battlefield, 22 tanks, 33 armored vehicles, 58 artillery pieces, 42 vehicles, and fuel tanks. That means the fighting is hot. It's very intense. In fact, if you want to see more about this, I would highly recommend that you go to Greg Terry's channel. It's right here. Last night, what he did, he mapped out what was going on and where he has firsthand knowledge from being on the front, like dropping deliveries to frontline soldiers, that kind of thing. And he mapped out everything, including critical roads. So he's a wealth of information. By the way, he's got Jake on it too. And tonight at 5, he's going to be giving away a Ukraine battle flag that was at the front line, that was signed by frontline soldiers. So yeah, so you want to see that. You can see that on his channel. You can see that streaming hopefully through my channel as well, and sign up for that. It's a giveaway just for whoever has signed up. One flag will be given to as a kind of a draw. Okay. At any rate, let's keep going. Andrew Perpetua's list. Wow. I mean, okay, the red is Russians and the blue is Ukrainian, and it's what's like 10 to 1, 12 to 1. So it's wow. I mean, it was a good day for Ukraine. Okay, over 100 Russian soldiers killed in reported Atacms Strike on a training ground in Luhansk Oblast, and they have that because they use Atacms to do it, and they could go further than the Russians previously had counted on. And so here's the geolocated footage of the strike. Due to the Russian strike on Kharkiv, now the Russians at the same time, while the Ukrainians are striking at soldiers 50 miles behind the lines, the Russians are still trying to destroy Kharkiv, and a woman's died and another person's been injured as they're striking houses. Okay, in the meantime, Zelensky is holding a meeting in Khmelnytskyi region to discuss security situation and the protection of people and critical infrastructure like energy. He appointed Surey Turhin as the new head of the regional administration, and he also was visiting with soldiers who were wounded in the hospital. And it struck me that I have a lot of memories in the United States of President Bush doing that. I don't remember Obama doing that, although the war was going on with him, and I don't have any memories of Trump doing that. And I was wondering, so I was thinking, I can't remember seeing images of Putin doing that. And I wonder if for an authoritarian leader like Putin, if that seems like it's diminishing him or something, or whatever. But you see Zelensky doing this kind of thing all the time. Okay, Italy plans to transfer SAMP/T air defense system to Ukraine. The new deliveries may also include Stinger surface-to-air missiles. German company Hesnold is going to supply 6 more TRML-D air defense radar units to Ukraine this year, so that's good. More to come. And so this guy his name is Joe Wilson, and he's a representative from South Carolina, upstate South Carolina, and he said, "We have surpluses that need to be destroyed. I know a way to destroy them, and that is to send them to the people of Ukraine." Well, that's a good point. I mean, if you're trying to destroy them anyway, that might be a good use of it. Now, this was interesting. Another NATO weapons factory is burning, the 5th attack in 3 weeks, and we still can't blame Russia. I don't know where I've been, but this is the first that I've seen of this, and I was thinking, 5th attack in 3 weeks, where are the other attacks? I just haven't been tracking with that. Just maybe I was too myopic on what was going on inside Ukraine. This time in Berlin, the factory producing Iris-T anti-aircraft missile systems is burning. The defense industries of the US, EU, UK are under attack, and elected officials do nothing. I have no knowledge of what happened in the US. If somebody does know that, I'd like to hear it. NATO issues a statement essentially saying that Russia is committing terror attacks all over Europe, US, and UK. But when I read the NATO statement, I don't see the US in this at all. NATO allies are deeply concerned about recent malign activities on Allied territory, including those resulting in the investigation and charging of multiple individuals in connection with hostile state activities affecting the Czech Republic, Estonia, Germany, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and the United Kingdom. Again, I don't see the United States on that list. These incidents are part of an intensifying campaign of activities which Russia continues to carry out across the Euro-Atlantic area, including on alliance territory through proxies. Okay, so yes, Russia may be very well behind this. If they're doing it through proxies, they kind of have a bit of a firewall between them and taking responsibility. And if they're doing it directly and it's not dealt with, and I don't think it's going to be dealt with. I think that NATO is going to say, no, we're not going to start World War III over that. But to the degree that they don't deal with what's going on here, they're going to invite more of it. This includes sabotage, acts of violence, cyber and electronic interference, disinformation campaigns, and other hybrid operations. NATO allies expressed their deep concern over Russia's hybrid actions, which constitute a threat to Allied security. And they really do constitute a threat to Allied security, and just not acknowledging it doesn't make it change. Okay, next, I talked about this in the very beginning, but Ukraine wiped out 100 Russian troops at once in a strike showcasing the range and power of U.S. Atacms. And when you go down into the article, I just want to highlight two things about that. I'm coming back to what it was before. Ukraine Atacms long-range missile strike killed more than 100 Russian soldiers in an occupied region 50 miles from the front line, according to OSINT and military analysts. Okay, so it's further than we thought they could, well, than the Russians for a long time thought they could reach. So they felt that they were safe, and they're willing to use the Atacms. That's another key point. Ukrainian forces targeted Russian military training area some 50 miles behind the line. Now, this was in Luhansk. It wasn't in Russia proper, but in Luhansk. And this is what video of like drone footage looks like. I'm not going to show the video. I'm going to show you the before and the after. It was, yeah, pretty devastating. And again, they thought that they were safe that far behind the line, but okay. So meanwhile, and I try to end with something that's somewhat humorous. And I've told you for a long time now that what Russian propaganda does, it just looks at what the other side's doing and then like mirrors it in a like funhouse mirror kind of way. So I'm going to show you in real time how this works. Kiev has lost over 111,000 troops this year, says Moscow. Now that seems improbable given that this year Ukraine has been largely on the defensive rather than the offensive, and there's only been 123 days so far this year. 111,000 seems remarkably high, but let's just look at this. Ukrainian military losses since the beginning of this year have surpassed 111,000 troops, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said on Friday as he started Moscow's latest estimates from the conflict. Okay, but if you just go back and look at the beginning of the year, this is January 1, Ukraine was claiming 360,000 Russian occupiers, right? And then you go to today, that's 360, here is 472. Do you want to guess what 472 minus 360 is? Because I did the math, and guess what? 112, or what he's claiming here is 111,000 troops this year. Isn't that fascinating? All right, well, that's all that I have today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine. Wow.